Hey Roger, what's up? Um, I'm coming to you this morning. It's early here. Well, it's 20 after 6. But today I don't have to work until 3, which is really cool because I get to see Nadal and Djokovic's match today. Of course, I'm rooting for Joker. I know Joker's actually going to do this. Um, that's just my feeling. Like last year, he just succumbed to a lot of nerves. I said that throughout all my videos, and I feel like once he went through the entire process of going up against a legacy of Nadal winning so many times at Roland Garros, that he would actually, that would never happen again. Like, he would never step onto the court with nerves again. I just knew that. And then, today I happened to, I just went to go to Roland Garros to see who was still in it or whatever, even though every time you exit, a tournament, it kind of like just wipes out a lot of the interest. Now, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say interest, but the enthusiasm, I guess you could say, to watch. I mean, the interest is still there because there's so many still, very good players, but it's, just wipes it out once you or if you exit a tournament. It's just frankly kind of sucks. So, but anyway, actually Sanga's in. He's going to be playing against Federer, and I'm kind of pulling for Sanga a little bit, because this is his home turf, and Sanga's been unbelievably good for so many years. Only he just has not been able to get himself past his own mental hurdles, I think, and it's not about playing. I think he's super freaking talented. I feel like he could have, at any time, like if he were playing with the same mindset as as the upper echelon of guys, that he would be able to definitely, have been number one and been a top contender, like hovering in the top 3 spots, at least throughout his career now. But he never, for me, has ever taken himself seriously. He's never taken his ability to win or his placement at the top seriously. And like I said before in some of my other videos, I know it always seems like I'm like trashing Monfils and Sanga, but for them, especially I guess with Monfils now, you never really see him anymore. But talk about, like waste of talent. No. I shouldn't say waste of talent. I should say probably something more like just squandering talent. Yeah, that's better. That's better than saying a waste of talent because it's just better. It's more accurate. But yeah, I'm kind of pulling for Sanga to a certain extent, to get into the finals, and then I'll see how I feel, because usually I'm rooting for, if you're not in a tournament, I'm always rooting for Joker. That's like the next person I'm always going to root for. So anyway, yeah, but I'm kind of pulling for Sanga, and I'm kind of hoping that he's finally like beginning to step into really understanding who he truly is and who he truly needs to, who he truly deserves to be, where he truly deserves to be, and just start taking himself seriously. Um, so seems like this change in coach, Roger Rashid, I think it is, has helped him some. And I felt, at the Australian Open, when he played against you, I just felt like had he seriously just tweaked a few little things, he would definitely have gotten past you. So I knew after the Australian Open that there were things that you absolutely needed to change in your game because, it's just a mental thing. Kind of like, and it wasn't to say that, oh my God, Roger's playing awfully. No, Roger, you're just greatest of all time. That's all there is to say. That's it. You're the greatest player out there, period. even in this day and age, even in this time where you're not in this tournament, you're still the greatest player ever. That's just it. I mean, my analytical skills. Like, I always try to tell the truth in my videos, at least. But anyway, so my mother would say right now, you're rambling. um, I guess I am, but yeah. So I'm hoping that I hope that Sangha will get himself together, and that'll be a really damn good final between him and Djokovic. You know, so what I really wanted to talk about is as we're waiting, actually Djokovic and Nadal, they get on in a little over a half an hour, 38 minutes to be exact. And, I saw a couple of articles. I looked up Joker just to see what time the match is. Because what I usually do is, I'll go to Google and I'll type in your name. And the beautiful thing about Google is that your matches in local time will come up. So, I'll just type in Federer or whatever, and it'll show me like what time you're playing in my local time zone. So that's the same thing that I did with Joker today, and saw that he and Rafa will be playing at 7 a.m. Like I said, or like I indicated. So some other interesting quotes came up with Joker today, and one of the interesting ones was just, getting a tally for what his mindset is, and he's totally, Roger. He's like totally leaned forward on this. Like, I don't feel any fear. I don't feel that failure is an option with him, and I'm not saying that failure is an option with you or anybody else, but that's a typical phrase that you hear from some people, especially really high go-getters. Failure isn't an option. So I just don't feel that from him at all. I feel he's totally leaned forward. And also Nadal, too, So, I mean, it's interesting that they're not saying things like, well, I'm going to try to win. I'm hoping to win. I know it's going to be a tough match and this and that and a third. What I saw in this article, and I'm actually scanning through right now, well, I'll start with Rafa since that's the first thing that I see here in this article. But it's interesting, like I said, the mindset of both these guys. There's no backing off. It's just all about me. It's all about what I'm going to do. I'm not trying anything. I'm just doing. I'm going to play my best. This is what, Rafa is essentially saying. I'm going to play my best. That's always what I do. And the interesting thing about Rafa as well, the challenges me, and also I feel it reinforces a lot of things I said in my videos about him just being sort of self-centered, sort of, not self-centered in a negative way, but is that he says, I don't really. He says something essentially in this article, and I can't find it right now. What I'll do is actually I'll paste the article because I think it's a really good article to read for both guys. Quotes on both guys, just how they're going energetically into this match. No nerves, just ready to go, ready to scrap, ready to take theirs, and not worried about the other person. So anyway, I'm sorry. Let me go back to this. Rafa was saying, okay, here it is. I don't care at all, he said, as he bristled at the suggestion that he's the favorite this time. He says through a translator, frankly, what words could I find to tell you? I mean, what else can I say? I don't give a damn about it. I try and play my best tennis. And the least of my concerns is to know if I'm favored or not. Like, is that not freaking just, you know what? Bless Rafa for not only just being himself in that moment, but being such a freaking in-your-face example for me, like reminding me, like, I don't give a damn if I'm a favorite or not. Like, it comes down, Roger, once again, to the person. It comes down to you, what you are going to do. It comes down to being in your own world. And that's what he's doing right now. He's just being in his own world. I'm going to do my best. He didn't say anything about trying or hoping or looking forward to. He's just out there doing his best. And that's where I think you know you have the talent, the edge of talent over these guys, every single one of these guys. But the mental edge, as far as certain things, this is where you need to be. This is how you need to be coming into these matches, Roger. And I'm not being rude, but I'm just pulling for you so hard. So maybe it sounds like I'm being rude, but I just want this for you so hard, And I guess if I'm gonna want it for you, I'm gonna make sure I'm applying it in every place in my life as well, to the best of I'm applying it in my life as well, so I can be on the same page. But I was like really like not even just inspired, but so lean forward on that. Like, yeah, man, I don't give a damn about the favorite. Those are like words for the wind. That's what Rafa says somewhere further on down in this article, being the favorite. And that's what I think. Where unfortunately, I've talked about this with you. I feel like, because I feel like you were the first in the tennis world to do so many different things. Not that no one else in the past hasn't done anything great, but I'm just saying, like, this dynamic of the masses behind you, and all of that approval and God, what was that sound? All of that approval and all of those, just it's like inconstant, like the moon. It's kind of like 1 minute it's this way, the next minute it's that way. And I think that that was something Rafa was always able to see and benefit from, because it was always going on with you. And like I've said in my past videos, especially at places like Wimbledon, I think it was in 2008, where, people were building him up and trying to get him into this whole thing of like, oh, you're going against Federer and all of this, and Rafa, it never really, he always stayed humble, and he always neutralized this situation really good by just saying, I will do my best, that's all. I'm not getting, and you can feel it, like, what his attitude was. I'm not getting into this whole thing about, trying to be this superhuman god. You guys are not going to do to me what you've done to Roger. And when I say that, I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way. I'm just saying that you have a dynamic that these guys have been able to see from A to Z, how it affects you mentally, not you, but how it affects one person mentally. And they've been able to kind of pull that back and not let that same dynamic be created with them in the media, I think, to a really certain extent. And also, they've been able to not create it is because they haven't even achieved as much as you, even though they have amazing records in their own right. I think even Rafa here, damn, I was looking, I think he's like 57-1 at Roland Garros. 57-1 at Roland Garros. Like, that's freaking amazing. And you know who that one is. It's Soderling. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, right, I know who that one is. But it's an amazing, it's an amazing thing. So, as I feel really charged up, and I feel, through the article, what the energy is of both these guys, I don't feel any holdback. I feel that they're going to, both of them going to show up 100%. There's no, there's no mental pullback. There's no, Djokovic certainly is not in the mind of this king of clay thing. That is not even in his mind. I didn't even get to Joker's quotes yet. Joker says, I don't want to talk about what if. Now, isn't that great? Oh, my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to talk about what if, Djokovic said. It's going to be a good match. Now, you didn't hear him say, it's going to be a tough match. It's going to be this. No. I'm not talking about what if. I'm not talking about anything. It's going to be a good match. And the next sentence. The next sentence is mine. And I'm going to be the one who's good. I love it. I freaking love it. Now, this is the way you need to go leaned in. Lean all the way into your matches, Roger. And if you were going into your matches 100% this way with this mindset, you would be winning a lot more in this day and age. You wouldn't, you know, you wouldn't be caught up. And I do think on some level, and I'm only saying this because I love you with my heart and soul, and I just want to show up as being accountable to you as a true friend. Um, or a true fan, whatever you want, um, is that this is the truth of the matter, what I really think. I think this happened last year and this year, and I might totally piss you off. You might never want to talk to me after I say this, I don't know. But I think that subconsciously you crash out of rolling arrows. That's what I really think. I do. I'm not saying you don't try hard. I'm not saying you don't play hard. I'm not saying you don't play beautiful tennis. Because, again, you are the best of all time. You are better than Rafa. You are better than Djokovic. You're better than Tsonga. You're better than all of these guys. Raw talent, you are better than them. I mean, and let me just take a sidebar for a moment. Somebody posted on Facebook, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that Rafa, even in this time, had said, you're still the best and greatest player of all time, and you're more talented than him, and records don't lie, numbers don't lie. You have more records and accolades, and at the end of the day, I mean, that's the proof, so I feel like sometimes you have these guys believing in you more than you believe in yourself. And I'm not, again, saying that to be cruel. I'm just saying it because I really care. And I feel, as a fan, there's so many of us who see so much potential in you. And now I want to jump back to this. It's not to say that you don't play hard. Like, you're not working with yourself mentally. I really acknowledge how you are working with yourself mentally. And I really acknowledge how, at least for the most part, you have been, powering through yourself on the court, mentally trying to work through any kind of mental hangups that you have on the court. And, you've made some amazing comebacks. Last year, you made an amazing comeback from, for me, you made a comeback at Roland Garros from over Del Potro. And then I'm just going to fast forward to this year at Roland Garros. I mean, even with Jill Simone, like some of the things that I was reading in the article and stuff like that, I was really proud to see that you are out there really trying 100%. I feel grappling and working through any kind of mental noise that's interfering or whatever. Just if the match is getting difficult and stuff like that, you were really like hanging in there and holding the line. But I think I just want to press this issue and just say again, these guys too, the way they're leaned in is awesome. And if it can inspire you the way it's inspired me this morning, it really has. It made me actually change a few things that I was looking at the wrong way this morning. I'm like, if Rafa can say he doesn't give a damn about what other people think, that, he's right, I mean, at the end of the day, we go back to that poem, If. It's like a farce, to oh, you're the favorite. I don't give a damn if I'm the favorite. Like, that's what he said. I don't give a damn if I'm the favorite. I need to, at the end of the day, I need to do what I have to do. And being the favorite doesn't mean shit, really. Great, nice, and wonderful, and all that people are supporting me, but that has nothing to do with me in this match and where I need to be mentally and what my purpose is and how I need to beat this person. And it's not even about beating anybody, but it's just getting what I want to get. I don't even see anything really in here when any of the guys like, I need to beat this person, I need to beat that person. I just get the feeling like I need to get what's mine. So that's what's really interesting. So I'm going to put this article, I'm going to link this article. And, all I say is the road to Wimbledon. I imagine you're going to, is it Gary? I don't know how to pronounce it in German, but I mean, in English, it's Jerry Weber. Open, but I think it's Gary Weber. I don't know. Anyway, so as you go into that tournament, as you go into just the rest of the week off and stuff like that, like, where's your mental mindset? Like, can you be inspired by these guys? You know what I mean? And it's not to say, like, oh my God, Roger, you have so much to learn from them. It's not that. If these guys, what they're saying and how their approaches into this match isn't inspirational, I just advise you to find some sort of real, true inspiration that is going to really lift you, into your purpose and your place as far as where you need to be. And I know I said I ran off with this comment about, I think subconsciously you crash out of Roland Garros. I don't know. I do think on some level you do. I think some level last year for sure, and possibly this year. Because I read somewhere also too where somebody was saying the match against Sanga wasn't overly physical. And now Sanga is very talented. He has a lot of power, a lot of power, which makes it much harder to play, you know, obviously, against someone. But, oh, what is that? Oh, I thought it was a spider. Sorry. So yeah, anyway, I just think, think about that, feel it out and stuff like that. And, know, like, what's this is just my impression. I could totally be wrong, but I do think on some level it's sort of a comfort for you to go out last year. On some level, you probably think I'm being rude, and I swear I'm not. I'm just saying this because I really care. And if it's not true, fine. But if there is some truth to it, I think it's worth looking at and reevaluating. You know, did you crash out on some level? Did you crash out of Roland Garros last year and this year, so that you'd have to not have to deal with all the noise of possibly going against a Nadal or even a Djokovic, and stuff like that. I'm just curious, and the only reason why I'm curious is because I think it's a major opportunity for really self-evaluation and self-development that's going to really advance your standing in tennis at this point, and just keep you going and lift you up even higher, if we are to look at that. Because if that is the case, and if there is some truth to it, or if you had some relief, like, and I'm just saying, on a human level, anyone could feel that way, like, at least I don't have to deal with that thing with Rafa and noise and Djokovic. I have to deal with all of that with the media and stuff like that. If that's the case, then if you felt that to a certain extent, then maybe it's time to sort of go back to what I'm saying about Nadal too. Like, at the end of the day, that being the favorite and all this stuff, he says that gets carried away with the win. Like, I don't give a damn about it. And see, he gets a little bit of an attitude, I think, because there's somewhat of pressure, but there's a lot of opportunity for pressure here. But I don't see either one of them succumbing to pressure. I see them really lean the hell forward, and even neutralizing the sense of pressure into a hard, focused purpose. The both of them, and I just really fucking applaud the both of them in this moment. I love it, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to see such wonderful examples. And what I love is, normally I carry this quote of Djoker in my head. Like, I try to always think of it, and he says, and I might have mentioned in my other videos before, but he says, the greater the what does he say? It's the larger the adversity, the greater, the harder, the more difficult, the more seemingly impossible the adversity, the greater the glory. So, I mean, I just try to really keep that in my head. It is so true. Like, if you can just really stick through and hold the line through the greatest of adversity, the most impossible part. Just weather that storm and keep showing up 100% like these guys are. That's all that I see them showing up 100% in this article. I don't see, again, anything else, anything less than just showing up for what I'm going to do, what I'm going to get. I just see certainty from both sides. So, if you can just hold through the line, through the storm of all that adversity and just keep showing up 100%, just being all about you, not even about, no room for anything else, just all about you. That the reward for prevailing is not only a massive increase in your ability to process issues and problems, and your ability to continue to triumph, your ability in relationship to yourself with adversity management, and what even feels like adversity. It's kind of like hot sauce, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you're like into hot sauce or whatever. I feel like I inherited it from my father. I used to always see him put he used to always have the little Tabasco bottle, and he would put that like over his chicken and stuff. And I used to be like, why do you put hot sauce on everything? And then, all of a sudden, he used to put hot sauce on everything, but he put hot sauce on a lot of things. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, I was like 20 something, maybe 25 or 26, and I had this wonderful steamed fish with right here. It's so funny. I had it right here in the city. I think I had it in Harlem, actually, and it was Scotch bonnet pepper, which for me is like one of the tastiest. It's one of the hottest peppers in the world. Maybe like in the top 3, I think. But anyway, I think it's really indigenous to Jamaica, and it's like a really crinkly looking little pepper. Kind of looks a little bit like the habanero pepper. But for me, it has even better flavor. It has an amazing flavor to it, that's unique to it, that's not found in habanero for me, even though they're very similar. But anyway, so I had that over steamed fish, and it was hot. Oh my God, it was so hot. It's like, I remember the top of my mouth like burning and everything. And the flavor was so good. I just kept ordering this fish steamed with the habanero peppers on the inside of it. I just love the flavor, but it was so hot. And then after a while, after a couple times of eating that, like, I could have almost any hot pepper. I could eat habanero pepper. My tolerance is high, in other words. So I think that's the same thing with adversity management, and I think that's where Djoker has actually benefited. You'll remember last year, I think it was Roland Garros, where I was saying in my videos that, I think it was Roland Garros playing, going into the final. Djoker was against Rafa, and he said, I'll be there believing at every single point. And that's what I think, how he, there was a lot of adversity there. He was up against Rafa's entire legacy, and a healthy Rafa at that point in time. Even though he had beaten Rafa on so many other surfaces, he still ended up sort of succumbing mentally. But he was, so mentally strong elsewhere that I just think that was just one for the road, one for the, one lesson to learn, and then that would never need to be learned again, which I feel is coming true now based on his comments. But in any case, he's learned adversity management very well, even over 6-hour matches and stuff like that, because he just believes at every point. Believes at every point. He plays hard, and he keeps the noise of everything else out of his mind. Now he didn't do that. He wasn't able to grapple with that so well at Roland Garros last year. I felt he was shook, frankly, but anybody would have been. So anyway, I think as you go back to on the road to Wimbledon, you want to reevaluate, like, what do I want to do? What do I want to start believing? Where can I show up more? Obviously, where could I reevaluate my attitude going into, you know, into future matches, you know, and you know, where do I want to be? What, you know, again, all of those things. I thought that this article was really interesting, and once again, I'm talking a lot. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and end this video. It's probably really long. Oh, it's 30 minutes. Wow, that's short compared to my other ones, huh? But yeah, so very interesting. I think, you know, good to tap into these guys and their attitude. You know, again, for Djoker, he started his adversity management by just believing at every single point, which is a lot of the stuff that I told, you know, I mentioned in my videos last year around this time and earlier. And, you know, because he was able to just hang in there every single point, and not even, maybe sometimes hang in there, but most of the time he leaned forward on those points. And I don't mean physically lean forward. I mean mentally, like just 100% into it without, you know, being able to block out the noise of, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? Oh, what if I don't make it? You know, that type of thing, which is a challenge for all of us. It's a challenge for me, you know. So since he was able to manage that on a momentary basis, he's been able to like really elevate himself into having like what I said is sort of like the hot sauce tolerance. It's like once you have a really hot pepper, you know, now your tolerance for anything spicy, anything hot is like you taste it and you don't even notice any heat or anything, and a person across the table from you taste it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is really hot, and you're like, really? Like authentically, like, really? Is it hot? I'm not noticing anything. And then you realize, because obviously we've had a very strong hot pepper before, that means nothing. It's the same thing with the adversity management. So anyway, I'm looking forward to Djoker taking this. I think Rafa will have to pull out a miracle. I mean, he may be playing well and all of that. This may be, I personally, I don't know. The way Djoker is right now, I just feel like I don't think this match goes over 4 hours. I could be wrong, but I just don't think this match goes over 4 hours, and I think Djoker wins it in 4 sets, maybe. Yeah, hour for each set. So Roger, I'm with you. Just, you know, looking forward to seeing you continue playing on. You know, I think that it's worth it to look again at how you were doing last year compared to this year. And, you know, were you doing serve and volley more? Were you coming to net more? And I don't know what the strategy was, but I think, you know, it may be interesting to still keep working on that, the effectiveness of coming to net more, you know, and I may have contradicted myself from certain things in the past, but I always feel like you kind of struggle with the rhythm of coming to net. And I think I've said that before. Like, I noticed that in 2009 when you were playing against Del Potro at the U.S. Open. You know, and I just encourage you to keep, you know, hanging in there and trying it. And of course you do very well, of course, but I feel like sometimes you do struggle with the rhythm of when's the right time to come up to net and stuff like that, or you'll rush up to net, and then the other opponent will see you rushing to the net, and you know, and they'll have the time to create a passing shot. So I think it's worth it to work on the rhythm of it, you know, knowing when it's like hit the ball, come in, you know, whenever that right interval is. It's about really tapping into that sweet spot there, and I think you're gonna be totally fine against these guys. But you know, again, I think that might be some of the difference of what you were doing last year and this year, possibly. I mean, I could be sort of wrong, but I think it wouldn't hurt to continue to work on that, work on the actual rhythm. So anyway, yeah, it's 33:46, and I can still keep talking. Like, there's still some things I want to say, but I'm just gonna go ahead and end this video. But my best to you. Maybe I'll make another video about 30 days to what's today? Oh, it's not 30 days to Wimbledon. Wimbledon's usually around the 24th, 25th, so it's just a couple of weeks. But I think just doing like visualizing again, like taking 5 minutes out of your day to just visualize winning your matches, visualize getting out of the semis, or also being able to, before you go to bed at night and stuff like that, just asking that, there's a higher self and then there's yourself, there's that 100% complete self, all knowing, whatever self, and then there's this self. And I just think at night too, tapping into that and just asking to release fear and limiting beliefs that feed the fear and create the fear, or create a limited mindset, be neutralized or be phased out, and ending patterns associated with it is also really helpful. So this time last year, I was doing something called the Road to Wimbledon. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but it was just some mental work that I wanted to do. And strangely enough, either this year or the year before, I remember that there was something going on with Rafa. He was talking about working really hard toward Wimbledon, and I was like, I'm going to do something too where I'm just working really hard to get something done up until Wimbledon. So it's kind of, actually, this is going to be probably my third year doing this. So my road to Wimbledon, will be, trying to stay positive as well, and stick to more positive thoughts and positive outcomes, and not being so afraid of, letting fear drive me as well. So, or different things like that. So anyway, I'm not saying that you live in fear. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying I think there's a little bit of fear and tentativeness that does affect your matches. It feeds right into the energy of your matches. So, at the same time, you are doing a good job, like, trying to manage yourself on the court. But I think, getting rid of, tapping into this kind of mindset that these guys have right now, would be a really good thing. It's not to say they're doing anything better than you, but just saying that, we are all here to learn from each other, just as they've learned from you or utilize certain things from you. You could certainly utilize certain things from them. It's just a back and forth thing. So anyway, good luck with everything. Road to Wimbledon, I invite you to join me on it every day, whether you're putting a note on your phone to just remind you of where you are mentally, whether you are deciding to switch certain things up on the court. I think that would be great too. And I really invite you to go back and look at your match against Tsonga at AO, because I just feel like these guys, they know some of your habits and things like that, and you've been playing for a while, and there's certain things that you just don't change with the way you do certain things, and they're able to capitalize on that. So I think looking at Murray and Tsonga's match and just seeing how you are again performing on the court will be very, very helpful. Because you should really be getting past these guys. They are really playing at a high level, but they're still not more talented than you. So you should be getting past these guys. But anyway, so much love toward you, and if you watch the video all the way through, thanks for watching. And all my videos just always come from a good place, because I know there's so much more of just the truth of your talent and who you are than what's going on now. Even though you're doing a great job in a lot of ways, but there's just always more. That's just the price of being Roger Federer, I guess, So anyway, take care. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Oh, and I hope, I think today's match is gonna be really fun. Look at 6:56. You believe that I've been talking since 6:22. So I'm gonna get ready to go see that match. I invite you to as well and have a lot of fun. Having a lot of fun watching it because I'm gonna enjoy it. Thanks. Talk to you. Bye.